Back in 2016, a widely publicized school bus crashed in Tennessee. It brought to the forefront the question about school bus safety. Since then, there have been many other school bus accidents, and each time it reignited the debate over safety. In an article in the American School Bus and University Journal, it stated that the School Bus Information Council estimated that about 400,000 school buses carry approximately 24 million children to and from school each day and travel 8.8 billion miles annually. Going to public school in Indiana, I've been in my fair share of school buses. My question is, why don't school buses have seatbelts? There are laws that require you to wear seatbelts in your personal vehicle, so why aren't students required to wear seatbelts on the bus? Today, I'm going to give you several reasons why school buses should be equipped with seatbelts. If you remember riding a school bus, you remember that it can be pretty loud and chaotic. The first reason I'm going to discuss is that seatbelts will improve the student's behavior on the school bus. According to Sonia Mastros and her Bus Boss blog, seatbelts keep students in their seats, therefore increasing safety levels of the bus and minimizing distractions for the bus driver. Nicole Sachlos reported at a National Association of Public Transportation conference. Derek Graham, the former North Carolina director, quoted a bus driver stating that after the first year of a bus driver with seatbelts on the bus, it was the best year of his 15-year career being a bus driver because of this improvement of the student's behavior. Graham also shared that one bus driver reconsidered quitting her job because of the significant change in behavior of the students. Improved behavior is wonderful, a side effect of having seatbelts on the school bus, but most importantly, the reasons for having seatbelts on the school bus is that they protect the students from major injuries sustained in an accident. An article in the North Education Association Journal stated that in school bus crashes that involve a front or rear impact, seatbelts will prevent a student from being propelled into the seat in front of them, which could cause minor injuries. Mary Allwood stated in her article on local schooldictionary.com that an accident which involves a side impact or a school bus rollover, seatbelts prevent students from being thrown out of the seats. While people like you and me may think that it's common sense to put seatbelts on a school bus, there are people that disagree with it. One argument against seatbelts on a school bus is that school buses are considered to be safe already. A National Highway Traffic Safety Administration issued a statement that said, "School bus transportation is one of the safest forms of transportation in the United States. We require all new school buses to meet safety requirements over and above those applying to all other passengers in the vehicle. This includes requirements for improving emergency exits, roof structure, seating and fuel systems, and bus body joint integrity. These requirements help ensure that school buses are extremely safe." The biggest argument that people use to show that there is a need for seatbelts on the school bus and that they are overall safe is that they are using something called compartment communalization. In an article in from Jenny Burgle, the definition of compartmentalization is that a school bus design is where the seats are closely spaced together and have high energy absorbing seat backs. In the podcast from the National Conference of State Legislature, they explain the logic behind compartmentalization. They explain that if there was a front end crash, the children would go a short distance forward and come in contact with the high absorption seat back in front of them, which would absorb the energy and reduce injuries. An article by Safeguard Seating stated that although the design can be effective, compartmentalization does not protect the student in a side impact or rollover accident because the students do not stay inside the seat compartments. The article also explains when school buses roll over and students are not belted in, students are tossed all out, slamming into everything from the ceiling to other children. They are more likely to suffer serious injuries or to be knocked unconscious. Children who are belted in remain safe and secure in their seats. I'm going to show you two videos simulating a bus crash from a company called IMMI. In both videos, there are crash test dummies who have seatbelts on and others who have no seatbelts. The first video is of a front-end crash. In this video, you can see where the students who have the seatbelts stayed in place. The students who are not belted in did not stay in their compartments. And if you notice, they are also put students in typical positions that kids sit on buses. So the idea of compartmentalization does not work. The second video I'm going to show you is a simulation of a bus crash where the bus falls onto its side. As you can see, the students who are not belted in were tossed all over the bus, and students who were belted in stayed permanently within their seats. This simulation shows how catastrophic this type of crash could be for students who do not have on seat belts. According to Tyler Hanna's article in School Transportation News, yellow school bus transportation has the safest record of any form of ground transportation for students. Unfortunately, deadly accidents do happen. I'm going to compare two very similar school bus accidents that Jacqueline Howard did a story on for CNN News, and demonstrate again where seatbelts made a difference. Referring back to the 2016 crash in Tennessee, I mentioned at the beginning of my speech, and comparing it to the 2014 school bus crash in California. Both these crashes had bus drivers that were 24 years old. These conditions were clear and dry for both crashes, and buses crashed into trees, splitting open and falling onto their sides. In the Tennessee accident, The school bus did not have any seatbelts and 6 students were killed. In the California accident, the bus had seatbelts and no one died. It was also noted that proper use of seatbelts in California crash reduced the severity of the injuries. While these types of school bus accidents are very rare, when they do happen, children are very vulnerable if they are not wearing seatbelts. In closing, I have discussed the seatbelts are needed on school buses and do not only improve students' behavior, but are most importantly to keep students safe in case of accidents. I also have shown that many of the safety regulations that buses have simply not enough. School children are precious cargo and should be given the opportunity to be safe while traveling on the school bus.